Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum, Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam, Prasannavadanam Dhyayet, Sarva Vignopashantaye. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Buddhirbalam Yashodhairyam Nirbhayatvam Marogita Ajadyam Vakpatutvam Cha Hanumat Smaranat Bhavet Gurave Sarvalokanam Bhishajye Bhavaroginam Nidhaye Sarvavidyanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Vagarthaviva Sampruktav Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau Tam Suryam Jagatam Natham Jnana Vijnana Mokshadam Mahapapaharam Devam Tam Suryam Pranamamyaham Yenakshara Samamnayam Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha Yena dhauta girap pumsam vimalaiः shabdavaribih tamaschagnanajam bhinnam tasmai paninaye namaha Vakyakaram vararuchim bhashyakaram patanjalim paninin sutrakaram cha pranatosmi munitrayam Yadaksharapadabrashtam matrahinam cha yadbhavet Tatsarvam kshamyatam deva narayana namostute Kayena vacha manasendriyairva buddhyatmana va prakrite swabhavat Karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayami. Astu. So we were on, let me share my screen. Are you all able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
So here last week we were on this sutra. Parajera Sodha. That one we did. Okay. So now we'll move on to the next one. Varanarthanam ipsitaha. Okay. So Varanam karoti. Ityarthakanam dhatunam prayoge yaha padarthaha ipsitaha tat karakam apadana sanyam bhavati. So Varanam means nivaranam, like you're prohibiting something, from happening, or you're prohibiting here, for example, Yavebhyaha gam varayati. Yava means some kind of cereal or grain. So the cow is being, the cow is not allowed to eat, okay, that particular grain. Yavebhyaha gam varayati. So yaha padarthaha ipsitaha tat karakam apadana sanyam bhavati. Yaha padarthaha ipsitaha. Now yavebhyaha gam varayati. So the cow is prohibited from approaching the grains or from eating the grains. So here somebody must be doing this action, right? Somebody is doing the action of prohibiting the cow from eating the grain. So that person is the owner of the cow. He may or may not be the owner of the cow, but let us assume he is the owner of the cow. If he is not the owner of the cow, then he is protecting his grains from some random cow. So there, ipsitaha, what is it that matters to him? His grains. So he likes to protect his grains, so he's prohibiting the cow from eating the grains. So there, yaha padarthaha ipsitaha is easy to understand because cow is not his, so he doesn't care about the cow. What he cares is about his grains, so he's protecting his grains. So ipsitaha padarthaha yavaha. But say, for example, if it is the owner of the cow, it is your cow, it is your grain, but still you want to protect the grain for whatever reason, because that grain is not for the cow, it is from the fields which you have to sell. The cow feed will be different. The cows are also being fed. The master likes the cow also because it is his cow. But in this particular case, he is prohibiting the cow from eating the grain. Why? Because the grain has a different purpose. So he needs to sell it. So here in this particular action, his interest is the grain, is to protect the grain. So that padartha is ipsitaha. So since in this situation, he is trying to protect the grain because he needs to sell the grain. Between the cow and the grain, ipsitaha padarthaha yavaha. So he's protecting the grain from the cow. So here yaha padarthaha ipsitaha tat karakam apadana sanyam bhavati. He's protecting the yavas. So that padartha, that shabda will get the apadana sanya. Varayati, avarodham karoti. Ityasya prayoge yaha padarthaha ipsitaha or praptumishtaha asti tasya prakrita sutrena apadana sanya bhavati. Okay, praptumishtaha. He likes to keep the grain for further, for a later purpose. So that will get the apadana sanya. Yatha. Yadi kachit gauha yavan bhakshayitum yatnam karoti tarhi asyam kriyayam ipsitaha padartaha yavaha iti vidyate atascha varanakriyayaha sandarbhena यवपदार्थस्य अत्र प्रकृतसूत्रेण अपादानसंज्ञा भवति येन यवेभ्यः गां वारयति इति प्रयोगः सिद्ध्यति एवमेव माता पुत्रं मधुरात् वारयति. So here the mother is not allowing the son to eat some kind of sweet because eating too many sweets is not good for the son's health. Not that she does not like the son, but in this particular case, she is restricting the son from eating the sweet. Okay, so here that is the purpose. So varanam. So and there could be the reason could be different. Maybe she is saving the sweet to offer it to the god. You know how we prepare the prasadams, but we do not eat or consume the food made for the prasadam before offering it to the god. So in that sense also you can take. So there the madhuram is the ipsitam padartham. So the ipsitam padartham will get apadana sanya. And once it gets apadana sanya, it gets panchami. Panchami apadane. So mata putram madhurat varayati. Similarly, pita manavakam agnehe varayati. Ityadayah prayogaha siddhyanti. So here kartuhu ipsitaha uta karmanaha ipsitaha. So here in a sentence you have both karta and karma. So gam varayati. So yajamani gam varayati. So here yajamani is kartrupadam, gam is karmapadam, right? So here ipsitaha applies to kartu or karma, to the karta or the karma. That is the question here. So ipsita iti shabdasya arthaha abhilashitaha praptumishtaha iti asti. Yavebhyah gam varayati ityadishu vakyeshu yavanam ipsitatvat varanakriyayaha sandarbhena प्रकृतसूत्रेण तेषाम् अपादानसंज्ञा भवति। अत्र वारणक्रियायाम् आहत्य त्रयः पदार्थाः वर्तन्ते. So here actually it is ipsitam to karta as well as karma, right? So Yajamani also likes the yavaha, Gau also likes yavaha. So basically both of them like. So to what should we apply? Let us see. Yaha varayati saha karta. He who is prohibiting, he is karta. Yasya varanam bhavati tat karma. He is prohibiting it by the cow. So here gam is the karma. Yaha ipsitaha padartaha, that will be the apadana. Atra sahajaha eva prashnaha udeti. Kasya ipsitaha? To whom is it, by whom is it desired? Kartuhu ipsitaha uta karmanaha ipsitaha iti. Asya uttaram asti. Ipsitaha iti shabdasya anvayaha kartrupadena saha api kartum shakyate athava कर्मपदेन अपि कर्तुः शक्यते यथा देवदत्तः यवेभ्यः गां वारयति, right? Like how we discussed just now, यजमानी or देवदत्तः, either one is fine. So देवदत्तस्य ईप्सिताः यवाः सन्ति, अतः गौः तान् न खादेत् इति हेतुना देवदत्तः गां यवान् प्रतिगन्तुम् अवरुणद्धि. So he is prohibiting the cow from going towards the grains. Iti ashayaha svikriyate chet kartuhu yat ipsitam tasmat karmanaha varanam kriyate. Iti arthaha sambhavati. So what the karta likes, that is being prohibited by the from the karma to approach that. Another way of looking at it. Goho ipsitaha yavaha santi. Ataha goho गौः तां खादितुं प्रयतते तस्मात् कार्यात् देवदत्तः गाम् अवरुणद्धि. So here goho also likes yavaha. So the go is going towards the yavaha to eat because it likes it. Okay, so the karma also likes. So the karta is prohibiting it. Iti ashayaha svikriyate chet karmanaha yat ipsitam tasmat karmanaha eva varanam kriyate. Iti arthaha sambhavati. So we can take it both ways. See, whenever the varanam is happening, it can be the karta, the padartha can be desired by the karta or by the karma many times. But sometimes it can be only the karma also. Sometimes it can be only the karma also that likes. So say for example, in the previous sentence, we have seen Pita, what was that sentence? Pita manavakam agnehe varayati. So the father is prohibiting manavaka from approaching the agni. So here maybe the varanam is being done only to avoid any kind of danger, right? Any kind of mishap. It is not that the Pita is protecting the fire from the Manavaka. Manavaka is a child, you assume. So he is attracted towards that Agni. So he is approaching the Agni and Pita is prohibiting. So here what is Agni is ipsitam to Pita or Manavakam? To Manavakam. Because that child liked how that fire is glowing. So he wanted to, go near it and test it out or look at it or touch it or feel it, whatever. But since it is dangerous to the child, the father prohibited. So here Agni is not really being protected by the father, right? Agni is not like in the earlier sentence, Yavebhyaha gam varayati. There, the grains are being protected. But here it is, Agni is not being protected. But still the varanam is done. Why? Because for the protection of the child. And why is the child approaching Agni? Because maybe he liked it, the way it is glowing and all. So here, ipsitam padartham karmanaha. So the karma padam is desires, or the karma desires the Agni. So we can take it in both ways. It can be karturipsitam or karmanipsitam. It depends on the context. So varana kriyayam yaha padartah ipsitah nasti tasya apadana sanya na bhavati. So that which is not desired will not get the apadana sanya. Let us look at this once again. Karmanaha yat ipsitam tasmat karmanaha eva varanam kriyate. Ipsitah iti kimartham. Varana kriyayam yaha padartah ipsitah nasti. Which padartha is not desired, that one will not get the apadana sanya. So let us see. Devadattah kshetre yavebhyaha gam varayati. So here we have one more word, kshetre. So in the field, there are some grains which are being protected, or the cow is prohibited from approaching the grains which are in the field. Now here we have field as well as grains. Now the cow, what does it desire? Or Devadatta, what does he desire? The grains. In this context, in this particular context, it is the grains that Devadatta wants to protect. It is the grains that the cow wants to eat. There is nothing else important in the kshetra that needs to be protected from the cow for Devadatta. There is nothing else important in the kshetra for the cow to eat. Maybe if there is grass, say for example, the kshetra has grass, then the cow can be interested in the kshetra also. But in this particular case, there is nothing else important in the kshetra that is desired by the cow or desired by Devadatta to be protected. So, kshetra shabda does not get apadana. That is what this sentence is saying. Varana kriyayam yaha padartah ipsitah nasti. That which is not desired. Tasya apadana sanya na bhavati. So, kshetra is not being prohibited from approaching by the cow. So, that shabda will not get apadana sanya. So, what the meaning here is, kshetre vidyamanaha yavaha ईप्सिताः सन्ति. क्षेत्रं स्वयं न. देवदत्तस्य कृते अपि वारणक्रियायाः सन्दर्भेण क्षेत्रम् इति ईप्सितं न. अपि तु तत्रस्थाः यवाः एव ईप्सिताः. So kshetram is not the ईप्सितं padartham, but the yavaha that are there in the kshetram. Atascha atra kshetra padarthasya prakrita sutrena apadana sanya na bhavati. So when we are writing a sentence and if we want to indicate what is being protected or what is being prohibited, okay, so we have to think again, always the vakta's intention is important. So what you speak and how you express is very important in conveying what you are thinking. So if you want to say that the grains in the field are the ones that are being protected and the cow is prohibited from approaching the grains, then the kshetra shabda should not be in apadana. But sometimes there might be, the kshetra itself might be the ipsitam padartham because it has the grass or the grains are not put in one place, right? So the kshetra, the complete kshetra needs to be protected because sometimes the bulls might come running into the field. When they come running into the field, maybe the crops will be destroyed because they will stamp on the crops. So then the kshetra should be protected. In such a case, kshetra shabda will get apadana sanya. If the kshetra itself needs protection, if the bulls are prohibited from entering the kshetra, so then the kshetra shabda will get apadana. Sometimes birds will come. Birds will come and eat up the grains in the kshetra. Here the grains are all over the field. They are not yet harvested and put in one place. So we can refer to kshetra as synonymous to the grains because the grains, the crops are still there. They are not yet harvested. So when the birds come and eat the grains in the field, we say the field should be protected from the birds. So in that way, we have to think and see how well to express what is that you are trying to express. So depending on that, you should select the word which needs the apadana sanya. So it is not
grains.
huh?
Yavaha means grain.
Yes, grains or yeah, we can
Pots.
consider grains or cereals, anything. Yeah.
Oh, journal बोलते हैं क्या तुम्हें?
Jannal.
हाँ.
Yeah. So janna is a kind of grain or cereal, you can say grain only. Grain only. Like rice, it is a kind of grain.
So, Miss, the thing which needs to be protected
Will get the apadana sanya.
Oh, okay.
And that can change from context to context. Like I said, all the grains are harvested and put in one place. Like we say, no, kuppalayadam we say. Telugu. So you harvest it and put everything in one place. So then the grains are all in one place. So you can say kshetre yavebhyah gam varayati. That makes more sense. But say, for example, the crop is not yet harvested. So the entire field has the crop with grains. It is not yet harvested. Then saying kshetrat varayati makes more sense, right?
Okay. Understood. Thank you very much.
ఒక చిన్న సెంటెన్స్ మీద చెప్పొచ్చా అంటే సంస్కృతంలో కాదు తెలుగులో వరకు అనమాట. ఇప్పుడు మన మామూలుగా తెలుగులో విభక్తి ప్రత్యయాల్లో వర్ణం కంటెంట్ బట్టి ఇస్తాం కదా, అందులో నుండి అని కూడా తెలిస్తే చాలా మటుకు ఇవన్నీ మీకు తెలుగులో న్యాచురల్ గా వచ్చేస్తాయి. తెలుగు అర్థంలో నుండి, దాని నుంచి రక్షించాలి. వలన కంటే పట్టి ఆ మూడే చదువుతాం మనం. నుండి అనేది మనం తెలుగులో చేస్తాం. ఈ నుండి అని కూడా సాంస్క్రిట్ లో ఆ మీనింగ్ కూడా అప్లై అవుతుందని చెప్పుకుంటే మనకి ఇది చాలా తెలుగు న్యాచురల్ గా మన మదర్ టంగ్ లో ఉన్నదే ఈ ప్రయోగం. క్షేత్ర స్థాయిలో ఉన్న జొన్నల నుంచి ఆవులు క్షేత్రస్థాయిలో ఆవుల నుంచి ఆవులు తినకుండా కాపాడుతున్నాడు. ప్రొటెక్టింగ్ ది యవాన్ ఇతడి యవేభ్యః గాం నివారయతి. అంటే ఇక్కడ నుండి అనేది ఇక్కడ యవేభ్యః నుండి అనేది మనకి ఆ పదం కూడా అర్థం వస్తుందని తెలుగులో అనుకుంటే మీకు చాలా మటుకు ఇందులో సరిపోతుంది.
So again, it also in Telugu, since you are mentioning how we express it in Telugu. So in Telugu, how can you say ధాన్యాల నుండి ఆవుని నివారించడం అవుతోంది. ఆవు నివారింపబడుతోంది. ఆవుని నివారిస్తున్నాడు. దేని నుండి? ధాన్యాల నుండి. Like that. But normally, how do you say? ఆవు నుండి ధాన్యాలని రక్షిస్తున్నాడు. That also you can say.
అది అక్కడ రక్షయతి అని అక్కడ రక్షయతి అని వాడుకుంటారు.
Here again the meaning will the expression of the sentence will be different. But here we have many others who are non-Telugu speakers. So yes, in Telugu actually the vibhaktis, they are very close to how they are used in Sanskritam. But I'm not sure how it is with other languages. So, but here this is particular sutra. This is how we can take. So nivaranam, where the varanam is done. So either the padartha that is being prohibited, it is either ipsitam to the karta, it can be ipsitam to the karta, it can be ipsitam to the karma. It can be ipsitam to both also. Like how we have seen yavebhyah. So devadattaha yavebhyah gam varayati. So here the yavaha are ipsitam both to the karta as well as the karma. Sometimes it will be ipsitam only to the karma. Okay, it may not be ipsitam to karta. But why will the karma approach something when it is not ipsitam, right? So mostly it will be ipsitam to karma. Sometimes it will be ipsitam to karta also. So sometimes it will be ipsitam to both. So to both or to karma, that will be the general case. Otherwise, the varanam will not, that need will not come. Why will you prohibit somebody from approaching something? Either they like it, or maybe they do not see the danger in it. These are the two cases. Okay. So here let us see. Bhashye sutrasya
क्षमातं
pratya.
भगिनी, क्षमातं भगिनी, अत्र वारणम् इति choice or varanam iti prohibition?
Yes, varanam means you are prohibiting or restricting also, you can say.
Okay. Because the Sanskrit dictionary was saying something else, that's why. Okay, good. Prohibition.
Generally, the same thing you can tell in Hindi also. That is, यवों को गावों से बचता है, या गवों की खाने से निवारता है. In Hindi, almost similar thing. यवों को गायों की खाने से निवारता है और रक्षा करता है. Depends upon which word we use.
The sentence structure will change, Mahodaya. So let us not use the raksha.
Yes.
So Bhagini, in the Hindi dictionary, what did it give for varanam?
They have given choice, selection, and screening, something like that.
Where? Which dictionary are you looking at?
Sanskrit.com.
I don't know. But normally varanam means to restrict or prohibit. Nivaranam.
Okay.
Ni upasarga also will have the same meaning.
Okay.
So here,
Dhanyavad Bhagini.
Astu Bhagini. So bhashye sutrasya pratyakyanam. Bhashyakarena idam sutram anavashyakam asti iti uktva asya sutrasya pratyakyanam kritam vartate. So like with the other sutras, the same sutra need not be quoted to put the ipsitam padartham in apadana karakam. For the apadana karakam to be assigned to the ipsitam padartham, the same, this sutra need not be used. So how can we apply without using this sutra? What can we do to still give it the apadana sanya? Mashebhyah gam varayati ityadishu prayogeshu gauh mashan prati na gachet. So you are not allowing the cow to go towards the grains, mashan. Iti hetuna karta adau buddhau means in his mind. What is the karta thinking in his mind? Mashebhyah gauh prithak eva tishthet. The cow should be kept away from the grains. So by this thinking, that is there in the mind, right? You know that the cow is there in the field. You know that the grains are there in the field. So in the karta's mind or in the yajamani's mind, what is going on? The cow is there. The grains are there. The cow should be kept away from the grain. Otherwise, it will eat the grain. That thinking, that thought is already there. So there is separation. Keeping the cow away from the grain means that separation is there. Iti chintayitva tadanantaram tadrishim sthitim pratyakshīkartum gam varayati. Ityukte atra varanakriyayaam buddhikritah apayah avashyam vartate. So that separation is already there in your in the mind. Atascha idam upatta vishayam apadanam eva matva. We saw that apadanam is of three kinds. And upatta vishayam is one kind. Somehow that separation is happening, right? Dhruvam apaye apadanam. Ityanenaiva atra apadana sanya avashyam bhavitum arhati. So, because that in your mind that separation is already there, so upatta vishayam apadanam will be applied here. And based on that, we can use the sutra dhruvam apaye apadanam. Ityanenaiva atra apadana sanya avashyam bhavitum arhati. Atascha prithak sutram atra na avashyakam eva. Iti atra bhashyakarasya ashayah vartate. So thinking in this way, the cow should be put away from the grains. So by thinking in that way, that apayah means that separation is already happening in the mind. So we can apply this dhruvam apaye apadanam, this is sutra. And what are we trying to, what is the dhruvam padartha here? The grain, because the grain is more stable. The cow is the one that is being pulled away from the grain. So that one will get apadana sanya. So in this way, we can use this sutra itself, and the avashyakata of the current sutra is not required. That is one more argument by the bhashyakaraha. Okay. So here we have this in almost all the sutras, particular second second argument on how to use the same sutra is given for almost all of them. Any questions in this sutra?
Madam, I just wanted to recollect. Recollect means that to remind, recollect only. Generally, we read in Subhashkasna some sanmitra lakshanam. There, in where it is used in both Panchami, depending upon the verb, it may be used in Dvitiya Vibhakti or Panchami Vibhakti. Papat nivarayati. Apade na jahati. Something like that. Papat nivarayati. That is one property of the student.
Yes.
That we can remember here.
Yes. Yes, Mahoday.
And one more is there, Godam Niguhayati, something like that. He will keep this secret. The Godam, that is there, it is used in Dvitiya Vibhakti. Papat Nivarati, Papat is used in Panchami Vibhakti. Actually, that sloka gives almost all these, the sum of these are that particular one I remember.
Yes,
When I read Nivarayati.
Yeah, Nivarayati. There, this sutra can be applied. And the
Papa Nivarayati. That Subhashtam is, Sanmitra Lakshanam. Some Subhashta is there.
Yes, Mahodaya. Okay. So moving on to the next sutra. Antardhau yena darshanam ichhati. So vyavadhanasya adharena yasmat adarshanam ishyate tat karakam apadana sanyam bhavati. So yasmat adarshanam. Adarshanam means hiding or concealing. Yasmat, from whom you are concealing yourself. That one will get apadana sanya. Like Krishnaha matuhu niliyate. Niliyate means disappear, means hiding. He always plays hide and seek with his mother, right? He's always hiding from Yashoda. So Krishnaha matuhu niliyate. So here adarshanam. So he's hiding from his mother. So he's making himself disappear temporarily, right? Yatra kasyachit vyavadhanasya sahayam swikritya adarshanam bhavet iti ichcha vidyate tatra yasmat adarshanam bhavet tasya apadana sanya bhavati. So yasmat, from the mother. And vyavadhanam means how do you say, avarodham, like how do you say, some thing that hides you, a thing that can hide you, like a wall or a curtain or something that which can be used to hide ourselves so that we are not seen. Okay, so from whom you are hiding, from whom this adarshanam is happening, that one will get the apadana sanya. Here mata is the shabda, matru shabda will get apadana sanya. Yatha yadi Krishnaha mata mam na pashyet iti hetuna bhittehe prishtataha tishtati. Bhittehe means from the wall. Prishtataha tishtati. He is hiding behind the wall. Tarhi tatra Krishnaha matuhu niliyate iti prayogaha sambhavati. So he is standing behind a wall with what kind of thinking? That mother should not see me. Okay, with that kind of thinking, he stands behind a wall. So we can say Krishnaha matuhu niliyate iti prayogaha sambhavati. Atra Krishnaha matrupadarthat adarshanam ichhati. Ataha prakrita sutrena matrupadarthasya apadana sanya bhavati. Evameva shishyaha upadhyayat antardate iti prayogaha api siddhyati. Antardhi iti shabdasya arthaha. So Prakrita Sutre Vidyamanaha Antardhau iti Shabdaha Antardhihi ityasya Saptam Ekavachanam asti. So Antardhihi means Vyavadhanam, Achadanam, Tirodhanam means concealing or covering or hiding. Okay. Hiding itself means concealing or covering. So here Antardhi. Antardhi, that word, the meaning of that word is to hide. So in that sense, yena adarshanam ichchati. Antardhau yena adarshanam ichchati. So by concealing ourselves, and what is the purpose of concealing? We are hiding or adarshanam ichchati. We don't want to appear. With respect to whom? That word will get the apadana sanya. Antardhihi ityukte vyavadhanam, achadanam, tirodhanam. Vrikshaha, bhittihi, gauh ityadikasya padarthasya vyavadhana rupena prayogam kritva kaschana. So we can use all these. Like somebody can hide behind a tree, hide behind a wall, hide behind a cow, apparently. कश्चन मां न पश्येत् इति इच्छा यदा क्रियते तदा सः पदार्थः अन्तर्धिः इति नाम्ना ज्ञायते. So whichever padartha we are using to conceal ourselves, that padartha we can will get the name antardhihi. Asyaha antardhehe upasthitau yasmat adarshanam ishyate tasya prakrita sutrena apadana sanya diyate. Antardhihi iti kimartham? यदि व्यवधानं नास्ति तर्हि प्रकृतसूत्रस्य प्रयोगः न भवति. So if the vyavadhanam is not happening, if that concealing is not happening, then the apadana sanya na bhavati. Say for example, chauraha mam na pashyeyuhu iti kevalam ichha kriyate. Parantu tadartham chaurebhyah guhitum antardhehe adharaha naiva svikriyate. Tatra prakrita sutrena chaura padarthasya apadana sanya naiva bhavati. Chauraha mam na pashyeyuhu. See, earlier Krishna did not want his mother to see him. So he hid somewhere. He went and stood behind a wall. Here chauraha mam na pashyeyuhu. The thief should not see me. The thieves should not see me. That thought is there. But I did not do anything regarding that. I did not go and hide anywhere. So the chaura shabda will not get apadana sanya. Why? Because the concealing or hiding or covering ourselves did not happen. So though we have the intention that the chauraha should not see me, I did not do anything to hide myself. So the chaura shabda will not get apadana sanya. That is what this is saying. So antardhihi, the reason why this word is there in the sutra is the act of concealing should also be there. Only the thinking of mother should not see me. Only if that thinking is there, it is not enough. You cannot put the matru shabda in Panchami Vibhakti just because Krishna thinks his mother should not see him. Only with that thought he should go and hide somewhere. Only then the apadana sanya will be given to the matra shabda. Similarly, here also, only if I hide somewhere so that the chauraha do not see me, only then the chaura shabda will get apadana sanya. Otherwise, apadana sanya will not be given. So that is what here the purpose of the antardhi shabda in the sutra is. Okay. Yena iti kimartham yaha swayam भित्यादीनां पृष्ठतः स्थित्वा गुहति तेन कृतस्य अदर्शनस्य विषये अत्र चिन्तनं नास्ति अपि तु यस्मात् गुह्यति सः गूढस्य दर्शनं न कुर्यात् इति अत्र इच्छा वर्तते. So see, the person who is hiding behind a wall wishes that the other person should not see him. Whether the hidden person sees the other person or not is irrelevant here. Okay. So here, yena. So for hiding, there should be a purpose, right? For hiding, there should be a purpose. We want somebody to not see us. So we are going and hiding. But after we hide, the other person can see us, maybe, because I go and stand behind a tree, but the tree trunk is very thin and it is unable to cover me. So though I went and stood behind the tree with the intention that somebody should not see me, that somebody could still see me. But that is fine. That is fine. The intention is there that I want to conceal myself, and the action, I did something about it, that is also there. Okay. So this yena indicates that we are trying to hide from somebody. Okay, whether that somebody, whether my action is successful or not will not matter. Whether that other person is really not able to see me or he is able to see me, that is a different issue. Irrespective of that, the apadana sanya will be given to from whom we are trying to conceal. Okay. एतत् स्पष्टीकर्तुमेव अस्मिन् सूत्रे येन इति शब्दः प्रयुक्तः अस्ति. Okay. अनन्तरम् इच्छति इति किमर्थम्? अदर्शनम् अभवत् उत न इति विषयं विना एव केवलम् इच्छायाः सन्दर्भेण अपि प्रकृतसूत्रस्य प्रयोगः अवश्यं सम्भवति इति स्पष्टीकर्तुं प्रकृतसूत्रे इच्छति. सो यथा यत्र कृष्णः माता मां न पश्येत् इति हेतुना भित्तेः पृष्ठे गूहति, तत्र माता वस्तुतः कृष्णं पश्यति उत न पश्यति इत्यस्य चिन्तनं विना एव प्रकृतसूत्रस्य प्रयोगं कृत्वा कृष्णः मातुः निलीयते इति प्रयोगः अवश्यं सिद्ध्यति. यतः कृष्णस्य मनसि माता मां न पश्येत् इति इच्छा तु अवश्यमेव वर्तते. So he has that ichha in his mind that mother should not see him. Okay. So here two things are there. One is the action is happening, but whether the action is successful or not. So I went and hid behind the tree, but with this action, I may or may not be able to conceal myself. Irrespective of that, apadana sanya will be there. This yena indicates that. And ichchati, the word ichchati in the sutra indicates that ichcha. With that ichcha, this action is happening. If somebody by force puts us behind something, they are covering us for some other reason, they are hiding us for some other reason, then maybe not. Then the ichcha is not there with me, right? By force, somebody is hid. It is not their ichcha. Then this apadana sutra will not, may not apply. As per this sutra, there will be some other sutra for that. But in this context, the ichcha should be there by the karta itself. So to make that, to express that, the ichchati shabda is there in the sutra. Again, here we have again. So how can we use dhruvam apadanam? Dhruvam apaye apadanam. How can we use that sutra in this context? So chhatraha upadhyayat antardhatte ityadishu prayogeshu chhatraha upadhyayah mam na pashyet iti hetuna antardhehe sahayam svikaroti. Okay, so the student does not want the teacher to see him. The classes are going on and the student is somewhere in the playground. So a teacher happens to pass by, the student sees, and he doesn't want to be seen in the playground while the classes are going on. Okay, so he takes the help of a antardhehe. Antardhehe means that which conceals. Any object that we use, to hide ourselves, right? So ityukte adau chhatraha upadhyayasya darshanat swasya nivartanam chintayati. So he's in his mind, he wants to keep him away from himself away from the teacher. Tatascha antardhehe adharena upadhyayah mam na pashyet iti ichchati. And then he has that desire, that ichcha. What is that ichcha? that the teacher should not see me. And with that ichha in mind, and he is moving away from the teacher, right? When he does not want to be seen, he won't go walking towards the teacher. He will be moving away and take the help of an antardhi to hide himself. Anena prakarena atra adarshana kriyayam prarambhe buddhikritaha apayaha avashyam vartate. So even before adarshanam, that thought is there that I have to, I should not be seen. So I have to move away from the upadhyaya. So that separation is already happening, is already intended. Atascha idam upatta vishayam apadanam eva matva dhruvam apaye apadanam ityanenaiva atra apadana sanyam sanya avashyam bhavitum arhati tadartham pritak sutram atra anavashyakam eva iti atra bhashyakarasya ashayah vartate. So in that sense, we can also again look at it as separation. Krishna is separating or moving away from his mother because he has this ichha in his mind that he should not be seen by the mother, because he already stole some navanitam, and while he is doing that, the mother is entering the kitchen, he hears her, so he doesn't want to be seen by his mother, because she will know that he only stole the butter and she will scold him. So he will go and he will move away from the mother and take the help of antardhi to conceal himself, with the ichha in the mind that he should not be seen. So that separation, that moving away is happening. So this sutra also can be applied with upatta vishayam apadanam and dhruvam apaye apadanam. With this sutra, apadana sanya can be assigned. So Krishna is the one moving away from the mother. So away from the mother, right? So the mother shabda, the matru shabda will get apadana sanya. Any questions in this sutra? Okay. So the next one is akhyatopayoge. नियमरूपेण विद्यायाः यस्मात् ग्रहणं भवति तत् कारकम् अपादानसंज्ञं भवति. नियमरूपेण विद्यायाः यस्मात् ग्रहणं. So from whom we are learning vidya, but niyamarupena, not generally. Okay, proper guru and shishya context. In that context, the chhatra from whom he is acquiring that knowledge, that shabda will get apadana sanya. Upadhyayat adhite, chhatraha adhite, kasmat upadhyayat. Okay, so here from the teacher, that adhyayanam is happening, gaining of the knowledge is happening. Niyama rupena, this also has an important importance in this context. Yatra vidhi purassaram adhyayanam means jnana grahanam bhavati, tatra adhyapakasya prakrita sutrena apadana sanya bhavati. Yatha devadattaha upadhyayat adhite, atra devadattaha niyamapurvakam vidyagrahanam karoti. So what is this niyamapurvakam? Is given here. Let us read it out. Atra yasmat jnanagrahanam kriyate, tasya means upadhyayasya apadana sanya bhavati. Evameva upadhyayat agamayati, atrapi anenaiva sutrena apadana sanya kriyate. Upayogaha iti shabdasya arthaha. Here we have akhyata upayoge, right? This upayoga in the sutra, what is the importance of that word in the sutra? Prakrita sutre prayuktasya upayogaha iti shabdasya atra arthaha vartate niyamapurvakam vidyagrahanam. So not just vidyagrahanam, niyamapurvaka vidyagrahanam. Vedadikanam adhyayanasya paramparayaha nirnitaha kechana niyamaha vartante. So when one is doing the Vedadhyayanam, okay, there is a certain Niyamapurvaka prakriya. What is it? Chhatrah bhikshartam atet. Chhatrah bhumau shayita. Okay, so he has to go for bhikshatanam. He has to sleep on the ground. Chhatrah pratidinam pathasya kantasthikaranam kuryat. So he every day, whatever he is taught, he has to do the kantasthikaranam of that patah. Etan niyaman anusritya yathochitam मार्गेण यदा छात्रः आचार्यस्य सकाशे विद्याध्ययनं करोति तदा तत् अध्ययनम् उपयोगः इति नाम्ना ज्ञायते. So उपयोगः is a kind of vidyadhyayanam, but niyamapurvaka vidyadhyayanam is called upayogah. So this does not apply for any kind of adhyayanam. Only when adhyayanam is done niyama purvaka from a guru. Okay, then that guru, the shabda which indicates the guru, will get apadana sanya. Ayameva arthaha asmin sutre svikritah asti. Etadrishasya upayogasya sandarbhena yasmat jnanam svikriyate. From whom we receive that jnanam. Yaha akhyata adhyapakaha. Adhyapakaha means he who teaches. Akhyata. So that is why akhyatopayoge. Okay. Tasya prakrita sutrena apadana sanya bhavati. So that akhyata will get apadana sanya. Akhyata is the akhyatru will be the pratipadikam. It is a rikaranta shabda. Akhyata shabdasya arthaha. Prakrita sutre prayuktaha akhyata. Pratipadikam is akhyatru. Iti shabdaha adhyapakaha or vakta. Asmin arthe prayuktaha asti. Yaha vakta swamukhat jnanam dadati tasya prakrita sutrena apadana sanya ishyate. Etat spashtikartum atra akhyata iti shabdaha prayujyate. Okay. So akhyata means he who teaches. Swamukhat. Okay, directly. Guru mukhe, we say no, Guru mukhe adhyayanam kartum ichchami iti, like that. But niyama purvaka adhyayanam. Then only the adhyapaka or whoever is in that akhyata position, that shabda will get apadana sanya. Upayoge iti kimartham. Yadi niyamarupena vidyayaha grahanam na bhavati, tarhi tatra prakrita sutrasya prayogaha na kriyate. Say for example, natasya gatham shrunoti. Ityatra natena uktani vakyani shrota avashyameva shrunoti. Parantu tatra shrota tesham sa niyamam adhyayanam naiva karoti. Na va tasmin sandarbhe bhikshatanadikam karyam api karoti. Ataha atra prakrita sutrasya prayogaha na bhavati. So here natasya gatham shrunoti. So in a dance drama or there will be several kinds of dramas, right? Where the nataha will be narrating a kind of story while he's enacting, or he may not be enacting also, like Harikatha. In Harikatha, there is more of narration rather than dance. So in such cases, the nataha, he is explaining something. He is explaining a story, and the audience are listening. There also, and through that, we are gaining a lot of knowledge about that particular Purana or whatever story is being told, right? So there is a kind of knowledge transfer, but there is no niyamapurvaka vidya. Vidyadhyayanam. There is no niyamapurvaka vidyadhyayanam. So we are only listening to the story and gaining some knowledge about that particular Purana or whatever. But we are not doing the bhikshatanam. All that niyamapurvaka adhyayanam is not happening. So here the nata shabda will not get apadana sanya. Why? Because this is not niyamapurvaka vidyadhyayanam. Niyamapurvaka vidyadhyayanam is called upayoga. Okay.
मैम
Yes.
आपसे हम हर ट्यूसडे जो ग्रहण कर रहे हैं क्लास में, वो नियम रूपेण हो सकता है ना?
नियम रूपेण हो सकता
है ना?
మేమందరం మీ దగ్గర తీసుకుంటున్న విద్య రిసీవ్ చేసుకుంటున్నది దీని కిందికి వస్తుందా అని అడుగుతున్నారు.
రాదు. No, it will not come. It cannot be considered as niyama rupaka vidyadhyayanam. Why? Because there it is very traditionally, see, back in those days, the guru shishya sambandha, they used to live in the same ashramam. The shishya would go out for bhikshatana. Like they, as a chhatra, there are some niyamas that the chhatra should follow. They have to earn their food from through bhikshatana only. So even the grihasthas would be more than happy to give that food to people who are doing vidyabhyasam, because they feel that by contributing or by giving that bhiksha, they also gain some punyam, and the vidyarthi, he can focus more on the education rather than the other aspects, because it is the time when they are spending, all that time should be spent productively on vidyadhyayanam only and guru shushrush. So that phase is a totally different phase. Today we are learning at this age, at we are almost towards the end, or in the middle of our life, but that vidyabhyasam age is a totally different age, and back in those days, at least, learning can always happen at any time, but that phase is there, no, that phase is dedicated only for that purpose. So there are some niyamas in that particular phase that one has to follow. So here, technically and traditionally, when you follow only that, like sleeping on the ground, being not distracted with other things, focusing only on that studying and all such, here only 2 or 3 are mentioned among the niyamani, but there might be more niyamas. Only that will be
భగిని
considered.
హరి ఓం అమావాస్య నాడు అమావాస్య తిథ్యాం పాడ్యమే తిథ్యాం నా పటే పాఠనం మాస్తు ఇది
Yes, there will be such niyamani also, especially the vyakaranam. Vyakaranam should not be studied on a particular tithi. So such niyamas also will be there, niyamani, but we are not following all those niyamani. So this our studying cannot be considered as that, as per those definitions.
धन्यवाद.
Okay. So here also, see, Natasya Gatham Shrunoti, here also some kind of knowledge transfer is happening. But just because that niyamani are not followed, this will not get the apadana. Similarly, our knowledge transfer also, we are not following all those. So we cannot consider this as upayoga. So again here, what is happening? Can we apply dhrivamapaye apadanam? And if we can apply, how? Knowledge transfer is happening, no, from one place to another. So that separation is happening. So let us see. Upadhyayat adhite ityadishu prayogeshu upadhyayasya mukhat shabdanam apayah prithakkaranam bhavati. So from the mouth of the teacher, that Shabdanam apayah, separation is happening. Tatascha te eva shabdaha shrotuhu karnabhyam tasya buddhau jnanam samsthapayanti. So the shrota is receiving that shabda through the ears, and it is going into their buddhi, and the jnanam is happening. Anena prakarena atra अध्ययन क्रियायां शब्दानां पृथक्करणं गर्भितम् एव अस्ति इत्युक्ते अत्र अपायः अवश्यं वर्तते. अतश्च इदम् उपात्तविषयम् अपादानम् एव मत्वा ध्रुवमपाये अपादानम् इत्यनेनैव अत्र अपादानसंज्ञा अवश्यं भवितुम् अर्हति. तदर्थं पृथक् सूत्रम् अत्र अनावश्यकम् एव इति अत्र भाष्यकारस्य आशयः वर्तते. Again, always to use this sutra dhruvamapaye apadanam, we have to look for separation and how the separation is happening, or where the separation is happening. Here from the Guru Mukhat, the Shabda is coming out, right? So the Guru Shabda or whoever is in that Guru Shabda position will get Apadana Sanya as per this Dhruvam Apaye Apadanam. That also can be applied in that way. So always here for the Panchami Vibhakti, mostly that separation, no matter how that separation is happening, there are certain, rules for the separation to happen. Based on that, we have several sutras, but in place of all these sutras, with this secondary logic, we can still use this single sutra. Okay. So both can be applied, but you should be able to explain. If you simply say upadhyayat adhyayanam or adhite, chatraha adhite. So here if you say the apadana sanya is because of dhruvam apaye apadanam, you should be able to explain why you are quoting this sutra. Okay, rather than the current sutra. Like that. That explanation, at least we should be able to understand the explanation when we are quoting the sutra, how that karakam is happening. That is very important for us to understand why we are assigning that word, that apadana karakam or sampradana karakam or karma karakam. That clarity should be there. Only then we will be able to understand the shloka meaning. If that clarity is not there, how that karakam is happening, if we are only looking at the vibhaktis, because the vibhakti can come for several reasons, right? Sometimes it is because of the apadana sanya, the panchami vibhakti is coming. Sometimes because of the upapada vibhakti, which will come to shortly because of that. Even the karma karakam. Sometimes it is the karma padam, sometimes it is because of the karma pravachaniya sanya, sometimes it is just an upapada vibhakti. So there are various reasons why the dvitiya vibhakti is coming. We need to be able to identify when a word is in dvitiya vibhakti, we should be able to identify how that dvitiya vibhakti is assigned. Is it because it has it is the karma padam of the vakyam, or it has the karma sanya because of some other reason, or the karma pravachaniya sanya is there, or just an upapada vibhakti. We should be able to identify that. If you think every word that is in dvitiya vibhakti is karma padam, then we are not able to understand the meaning of the shloka correctly. So it is important for us to understand when a word is in a particular vibhakti, why that vibhakti is assigned to that word. So if it is in Panchami Vibhakti, is it because of the Apadana? Is it because of Hetu? Is it because of Upapada? That clarity should be there for us. Only then we will be able to understand. We will be able to understand the meaning of the shlokas. Okay. Janikartuhu prakritihi. So before going this, I just had this on my mind. So I just wanted to share. So after all of you are done with the Karakam, understanding of the Karakam, we can try some shlokas from, like say for example, Ramayanam. Or there is this parallelly, this class is also going on, the Bhagavad Gita class. There anyhow we are already doing the analysis of the shlokas, but I would recommend you to do it again. Because while we are discussing in the class, it is going at, we are just discussing, but each of you, if you take each shloka, sit with it, work with it, and write, how each of these words are connected, what are the Karaka relations explicitly, if we are able to write that, then the understanding level will be totally different. Okay, whatever little doubts that are there will be completely clarified. Okay, whatever grantha you are interested in, you can pick and you can work with it. If most of you agree with one, we can work on that also later on, not right now. After we finish the Karakas, you will have an understanding. So just when we are doing this Adhyayanam of the Karaka Prakaranam is one thing. But the actual clarity comes only when you work out with some shlokas. So at least 2 or 3 shlokas, if you do first with guidance and then several shlokas by yourself, then you will understand these at a much better level or with more clarity. And with each one, once you identify, okay, this is apadana, by which sutra this apadana is assigned. That also, if we go to that level, then this memorization of the sutras also will happen automatically. Because every time you come across a word which is in Panchami Vibhakti, and if you identify it is apadana sanya that is giving the Panchami Vibhakti, then how did this word get apadana? Is it because nivaranam, the varanam, or is it because of this adhyayanam, from whom the adhyayanam is happening? Is it because of that? Like this, if you question every karakam, why that karaka sanya is assigned with respect to the sutras. So since we have everything documented in one place, you can refer to this document and identify because of which sutra that apadana sanya is assigned, because of which sutra the karma sanya is assigned, because of which sutra the karana sanya is assigned to that word. That if you refer back several times, then automatically those sutras we will be able to memorize easily. So that learning will be more complete. Here, while right now it will be difficult because we are going through so many sutras, but later on that practice will help us establish this permanently in our mind. Okay. The first step is to identify just the karaka, apadana. Is it because of apadana sanya or upapada panchami? That is the first classification. After you get comfortable with that, then within the apadana, how that apadana is coming, because of which sutra. There are so many sutras that we are going through. So for sampradana, apadana, and karmakarakam, we have so many sutras. For karanakarakam, there aren't that many, right? So like that. Even for adhikaranam, we don't have that many. Only for the sampradana and apadana and karmakarakam, we have so many sutras. So that comfort zone we can go by doing that continuous practice with the shlokas, because every shloka is different. In every shloka you will have some aspect which is a little challenging. So and you can also see how the prayoga is happening by the kavi. Like in some cases how the Panchami Vibhakti is used. Sometimes it can be beyond what we have studied also. So for that we have to do further more research, because here only the most commonly used ones are given in our Karaka book. But there can be applications which are beyond the regular usage. So we will be exposed to such usages also. So it will always help if we apply this practically to the shlokas. You can pick a grantha of your choice, whichever you are interested, and do. If all of us agree on one, then we can, whoever are interested, we can form a group and start working on that particular grantha also, like Ramayanam. Okay. And that is only a suggestion, because I was looking at this Ramayana Olympiad and I thought if some of you are already preparing for that, then after that exam, because now everybody might be busy preparing for that exam. So later, whenever you feel that you are ready for some additional learning, we can do the Ramayana shlokas. Anyways, coming back to this, so Janikartuhu Prakritihi. Janana kriyayaha yaha hetuhu means karanam tat karakam apadana sanyam bhavati. Shringat sharaha jayate. So shringat sharaha. Sharaha means arrow, right? And shringat. So here shringaha means a kind of padartha that is used to make the arrow. Okay, like a horn, say for example. So for the arrow, the tip of the arrow that is made, it is made out of some material, right? So this shringa is that material. So from that material, the arrow is made. So janana kriyayam ityukte nirmanasya kriyayam yaha padarthaha hetu rupena prayujyate tasya prakrita sutrena apadana sanya bhavati. Yatha shringat sharaha jayate. Atra sharasya nirmane shringapadarthaha karanam. Ataha tasya prakrita sutrena apadana sanya bhavati. So what is produced from what? So the mula padartha will get the apadana sanya. Janikartuhu iti shabdasya artha. Asmin sutre prayuktam janikartuhu iti padam samasta padam asti. Janihi ityukte jananam janma praptihi. Jan dhatoho datvartha nirdeshartham in iti pratyayam sayojya jani iti shabdah siddhyati. अस्याः जननक्रियायाः यः कर्ता इत्युक्ते यः जायते सः जनिकर्ता. प्रातिपदिकं जनिकर्तृ. Okay, so the rikaranta shabda इत्यनेन पदेन निर्दिश्यते. अस्य जनिकर्तुः निर्माणे यत् कारणं तस्य पदार्थस्य प्रकृतसूत्रेण अपादानसंज्ञा भवति. So जनिकर्तुः is the prakritehe is the word, right? Is the sutra. So here janikartuhu, about the janikartuhu, jani means jananam, and it is derived from the jan dhatu with in pratyaya. So jani it will become. So here asyaha janana kriyayaha yaha karta ityukte yaha jayate, from which it comes or produced. Saha janikarta इत्यनेन पदेन निर्दिश्यते. So शरस्य निर्माणं शृङ्गात् भवति. अतः शृङ्गात् शरः जायते. Okay. So शरः जायते इति प्रयोगः सिद्ध्यति. From what is the शरः produced? From the shringa padartha. So the shringa padartha or the shabda will get apadana sanya by this sutra. And it gets panchami vibhakti. Prakritihi iti shabdasya artha. Asmin sutre vidyamanaha prakritihi iti shabdaha karanam hetuhu. Asmin arte prayuktaha asti. So here prakriti shabda is used in the sense of karanam or hetuhu. So in this janana kriya, in this kriya of the production, what is the hetu? Hetu means from which padartha it is being produced. That will be considered as the prakriti. Here prakriti shabda indicates that hetu. Janana kriyayaha karanam ityukte yasya padarthasya sahayena nirmanam bhavati saha atra prakriti shabdena nirdishyate. Asya padarthasya prakrita sutrena apadana sanya bhavati. Iyam prakritihi dvidha bhavati. Now this prakriti is again of two types. One is upadana karanam. Tat karanam yasmin parivartanam kritva nutana padarthasya nirmanam bhavati. So yatha mrit iti ghatasya upadana karanam. Evameva shringaha iti sharasya upadana karanam. Asya upadana karanasya prakrita sutrena apadana sanya sambhavati. Ata eva mridaha ghataha jayate. From the mrit. This is the mrit, dakaranta shabda. From that is why the panchami vibhakti form is mridaha. Mridaha means from the mrit, mrid. Ghataha jayate. From mud, the pot is made. Shringat, sharaha jayate. Ityadini vakyani siddhyanti. So the prakriti is of two types. Means the karanam, means the origin of this jananam is of two types. One is upadana karanam. Upadana here indicates the mula padartha, like mrit for ghataha. Okay, and shringaha for sharaha. Sahakari karanam. Tat karanam yat nirmana kriyayam sahakaryam karoti. So say for example, ghata nirmana karye jalam, agnihi, kumbhakaraha, ete sarve sahakarinaha. Right? In the making of the pot, mud is the primary thing, upadana karanam. Sahakari karanam, there are many, like the potter himself, kumbhakaraha, agnihi. Without burning the pot, it cannot be used, right? It has to be burnt. And then water, you have to mix the water in the mud. And even a stick and the wheel that you use, on the wheel only the pot is shaped. So the wheel also can be considered as sahakari karanam. So a stick also will be used. So all these are sahakari karanas. Etadrishasya sahakari karanasya api prakrita sutrena grahanam bhavati. So as per this sutra, we can also take these shabdas which are sahakari karanas. Okay. Ata eva putrat pramodah jayate iti vakyam siddhyati. Putrat pramodah jayate. So happiness. The father is happy. Why? Because of his son. Okay, so putrat. So the putra shabda, he is not born out of the putra. Here the janana kriya is not like the upadana karanam. In upadana karanam, the janana kriya is happening from a padartha. The padartha itself is changing into this other padartha. Okay, which is being used. So that jananam is happening in that way. Here the putra is making the father happy. He is a reason for the father to be happy. So, sahakari karanam. The putra shabda will be sahakari karanam. As per this sutra, the sahakari karana vachaka shabdas also will get apadana sanya. That is why putrat pramodah jayate iti vakyam siddhyati. Atra pramodah sakshat putrasya amshena putre parivartanam kritva nirmitah nasti. Apitu putram drishtva manasi udbhavati. अतः अत्र पुत्रः इति प्रमोदस्य सहकारी कारणं वर्तते. So pramodah is not born out of the putra, right? But the putra is making him happy in the mind. So sahakari karanam, we consider putra shabda as a sahakari karanam, and as per this current sutra, it will get apadana sanya and panchami vibhakti is given. अस्यापि प्रकृतसूत्रेण अपादानसंज्ञा भवति. एवमेव कामात् क्रोधः जायते इत्यत्रापि कामः इति क्रोधस्य सहकारी कारणम्. अतः तस्य अपि प्रकृतसूत्रेण अपादानसंज्ञा भवति. This you all know, right? In the Bhagavad Gita shloka we have come across kamat krodha jayate. So here is the kama literally changing into krodha like material wise? No. These are all not even like materialistic padartha, right? But the kama is causing the krodha. So sahakari karanam bhavati kamaha. Ataha prakrita sutrena apadana sanya bhavati. Here there is a small suchana. Yes, Bhagini?
Shrungat ityukte?
Shringa is a kind of Shringa is a kind of material like a horn. Like say for example the tusk of an elephant. Or the horn of some kind of animals. Animal horns can be used to make some vastuni, right? Like that, Sharaha means that arrowhead is also made out of some horn material.
Dhanyavad.
So here sahakari karanasya nityam apadana sanya eva bhavet iti na avashyakam. Karaka prakaranam eka sanyadhikare vidyate. Ataha agre vidyamanaha sampradhanadi sanyaha paratvat eka sanyadhikaratvat cha apadana sanyam avashyam badhitum arhanti. Ata eva ghata nirmane agnehe apadana sanyam badhitva karana sanya bhavati. Evameva devadattasya apadana sanyam badhitva kartru sanya vidhiyate. So what this note is saying is, this sahakari karanam need not be always apadana sanya. There are, we have studied in kArakam that in the making of the pot, kumbhakarena ghataha nirmanam kritaha. We can say this, right? So here, of course, when we say kumbhakarena, we can take it as karmani prayoga and still say kumbhakaraha is a kartripadam. Okay. So say for example, sthalya pachati. Sthalya pachati. We are using sthali as an instrument to do the cooking, right? But this sthali is a sahakari karanam. In the action of cooking, what all we use, all those will become sahakari karanas. Like how in the making of the pot, water, agni, the kumbhakaraha, all these are sahakari karanas. Similarly, in cooking also, same, water, agni, sthali, all these can be used. Darvi means the ladle. All these can be, are sahakari karanas. But as per, we can identify them as karanakarakas. We can assign the karanakaraka sanya, or we can also assign apadana sanya as per this sutra. So it is not a hard and fast rule that all the sahakari karana shabdas will be given only apadana sanya. There is no hard and fast rule. You can either apply the karanakaraka sanya or apadana karaka sanya. Either is fine. Okay, that is what this Suchana is saying. And sometimes the Sampradana Sanya also can be assigned in a different context. So the Sahakari Karanasya, we have seen that in the Janikartuhu, we have seen that example where the Mula Padartha will be transformed into an item, a Vastu. There we have seen the application of Chaturthi Vibhakti. Okay, the Sampradana Sanya. So like that, Sahakari Karanasya Nityam Apadana Sanya Eva Bhavet iti na avashyakam. We need not think that the Sahakari Karana Shabdas always will get Apadana Sanya. It is not a mandatory rule. Karaka Prakaranam Eka Sanyadhikare Vidyate means the Karaka Prakaranam. A word will get a Karaka Sanya, only one Karaka Sanya at a time. It cannot have two Karaka Sanyas assigned at the same time. So when a word has Karana Karaka Sanya, it can also not get the Apadana Karaka Sanya. It should get only one at a time, either Karana Karaka Sanya or Apadana Karaka Sanya. Okay, so depending on other rules, sometimes Karana Karaka Sanya will be assigned, sometimes the Apadana Karaka Sanya will be assigned. So Eka Sanyadhikara means it will have only one adhikara in only one in only one Karaka Sanya. Okay. Ataha agre vidyamanaha sampradanaadi sanyaha paratvat eka sanyadhikaratvat cha apadana sanyam avashyam badhitum arhanti. So going forward in the some of the sutras, based on several factors, sometimes the apadana sanya badhitva sampradana sanya bhavitum arhati. Apadana sanya badhitva karana sanyam bhavitum arhati. Similarly, what other apadana karana karakam? Yeah, karana karakam or sampradana sanya can be assigned to a word which has apadana sanya. Okay. Ata eva gatha nirmane agre apadana sanyam badhitva karana sanya bhavati evameva devadattasya apadana sanya badhitva kartra sanya vidhiyate. So Devadatta is also a sahakari karanaha, right? Like how Kumbhakaraha, earlier it was said that Kumbhakaraha is also a sahakari karanaha. Similarly, Devadatta also is the Kumbhakaraha. So he will be a sahakari karanam. So he can be expressed as Karanakarakam or Apadanakarakam or Kartrakarakam. Right? Any of these can be applied. But again, there will be certain factors involving that which will take priority. All three can be applied. But depending on the context, one will take priority over the other. It can be because of the intention of the Vakta also. So depending on that, the which Karaka is applied changes. Okay, that also we have to keep in mind, because many times sthali pachati, for example, we studied this in the Kartrakarakam. Sthali pachati. Sthali means a pot. How can a pot cook? But that prayoga is there. Sthali pachati. Why are we using that? The Vakta wants to emphasize on the fact that the vessel is so perfect, it is so well built that the cooking happened so easily. All of us have this experience, who all, we have a cooking experience, who all have that cooking experience. Proper tools in the kitchen can make cooking a lot easier. A good knife, a good, peeler, a good, vessels, and a proper stove. All these are very good factors, because sometimes you will not have the right patra. So then it will be a little struggle. When the patra is perfect, then the cooking can happen very easily. So to the point where you can say the pot cooked itself. I didn't do really much. The pot is so good that the cooking is done so easily. When Sita wants to express that, that is when he says sthali pachati. So here he is emphasizing, we have to understand that he is emphasizing on the fact that the vessel is so good. It is so good that the cooking was effortless. Sometimes similarly, no matter how good the vessel is.
Madam, I just wanted to tell jokingly one small example. Thali means you can here apply for pressure cooker also. Once you put it will cook automatically, no?
Yes. Yes, Mahoday. So sometimes the fire will not be very good. The Agni factor is not good. The burner is not good. So then no matter how good a vessel you put on that stove, the cooking will not come out well, because the Agni factor is not good. These days, these modern gas stoves are coming, like hob. Okay, many people are purchasing that because it has a good appearance. But the cooking is not good at all, because the burner, the shape of the burner, or how the fire comes out of it is not, is not really good. It comes to the sideways. So the vessel is not getting enough heat like our traditional gas stoves. So because of that, the cooking is taking longer. So no matter how good a vessel you put on it, the cooking is not happening because there is no proper fire. But if you, after experiencing that, if you use a gas stove which has a proper burner, so then you will say Agnihi Pachati. The fire, it's so good that it cooked itself. So here the Vakta wants to emphasize on the fact that the fire is very good. Back in those days also, when the firewood is used to cook, even then also, when the firewood is really good and the fire comes out nicely, the cooking will happen seamlessly. So like this. So depending on the intention of the Vakta, sometimes depending on the ordering of the sutras, sometimes the latter sutra will take priority. Like that, there are several factors which can determine which karaka can be assigned to a particular sahakari karanam padam shabdam. Okay, so that we have to keep in mind, because sometimes you can see a word in apadana karakam, sometimes you can see the same word in karana karakam where the same meaning is being applied. Like that, there can be several applications that you will come across. So if we keep this in mind, then we will understand that all those applications are correct, and we have to see the intention of the Vakta there. Okay, so Siddhanta Kaumudyam Bhattoji Dikshitaha Asya Sutrasya Brahmanaha Prajaha Prajayante iti Udaharanam Pathayati. Asya Udaharanasya Dvidha Arthasangatihi Sambhavati. So Brahman iti Shabda. This is another example from Siddhanta Kaumudi. Let us simply look at it. You don't worry too much about it, but let us simply read. So Brahman iti Shabdaha Parabrahma Asmin Arthe Svikriyate Chet Iyam Sarva Praja Brahmanaha Eva Amshaha Ityasmin Arthe Brahman Ityasya Upadanatvena Prakrita Sutrena Asya Apadana Sanya Bhavitum Arhati. Upadana means we have seen earlier that from whom it is Sambhavati. So here we have Upadana Karanam and Sahakari Karanam. Two are there. So when you say this sentence, Brahmanaha Prajaha Prajayante. So all the people are born, or they came out of the Parabrahma. Here the Brahma Shabda should be taken as the Parabrahma. So Brahman iti Shabdah Parabrahma asmin arthe svikriyate chet iyam sarvaha prajaha, all these people are of the same amsha as the Parabrahma. Ityasmin arthe Brahman ityasya upadanatvena prakrita sutrena apadana sanya bhavitum arhati. So here the Sahakarini is not there, the Upadana is there. Okay, Athava Brahman iti Shabdaha Brahmadevaha asmin arthe svikriyate chet praja nirmane Brahmanaha Sahakari Karanatvam siddhyati. The Brahma that we know from the Trimurtis, he is the Srishtikarta, right? Like he creates people, right? Creates in the sense people are not coming out of him, but he determines like how they are born, what kind of life they lead. All this he is the writer, right? He is the Sutradhari in that aspect. So he is a Sahakari Karanam. He is not Upadana. He is the Sahakari Karanam. So if you take as Parabrahma, the Brahma Shabda, if you take it as Parabrahma, then Upadanatvam we have to take. Because of Upadanatvam, Apadana Sanya is given to the Brahma Shabda. But if you take it as the Brahma as the Trimurtis, one of the Trimurtis, then because of Sahakari Karanatvam, Apadana Sanya bhavati. So see, in both cases, Apadana Sanya only. But based on the meaning, whether it is Upadanatvam or Sahakari Karanatvam will change. So the sentence will still be the same. Brahmanaha prajaha prajayante. But depending on how you take the meaning of Brahma Shabda, the meaning of this whole sentence will change. Okay? So that such things will be interesting to note. So here, Brahman iti Shabdaha Brahmadevaha asmin arthe svikriyate chet praja nirmane Brahmanaha Sahakari Karanatvam siddhyati. Yataha Brahmadevat sakshat sampurna srishtihi na nirmata. Apitu Brahmadevat manoha shatarupayaha cha nirmanam. Tataha cha tabhyam anyesham nirmanam jatam. So from Brahma, the Manu, and from Manu again, there are more creations, and like that, finally, all the people are created. So the people are not coming from the Brahmadeva directly, but he is one of the factors. Atrapi asya sahakari karanasya prakrita sutrena apadana sanya siddhyati. So in both cases, apadana sanya is given, but the reason is different. One is upadanatve, the other one is sahakari karanat. Here gomayat, this is another example. Gomayat vrishchikaha jayate iti udaharanam. So there is a saying, gomayat vrishchikaha jayate. Gomayam you all know. Vrishchikaha is a scorpion. How can a scorpion come from or be born out of gomayam? We might wonder. Okay, so Prakrita Sutre Kashikayam Bhashyecha Gomayat Vrishchikaha Jayate. A scorpion is created from cow dung. Iti udaharanam dattamasti. Yadyapi Gomayat Vrishchikasya nirmana naiva shakyam. You cannot create Vrishchika from Gomayam. Tathapi loke samanyataha Gomayat eva Vrishchikam bahihi agatam drishtva janaha Kathanchit Gomayam Vrishchikasya Upadana Karana Rupena eva svikurvanti. Upadana Karanam eva svikurvanti. Okay, so though it is not really born or made out of the Gomayam, whenever you spread the Gomayam, Vrishchika is coming out of its hole, apparently. So that relation has been there for so long that automatically people, this kind of usage came into existence. Okay. Evameva bhashye avilomabhyaha durvaha jayante iti aparam udaharanam api dattamasti. Avihi ityukte meshaha. Meshasya lomani means keshaha bhumau nikhanyante. Chet tebhyaha durvaha udbhavanti. So basically that is one prayoga. Gomayat vrishchikaha jayate. So here literally vrishchika is not being born out of gomayam. But because of that kind of association, whenever you spread the gomayam, the vrishchika is coming out of its hole. So that sentence or usage came into existence. Okay, but it is used in the sense of upadanatvam eva, not the sahakarini. It is upadanatvam eva is applied. Another usage is avilomabhyah durvaha jayante. Okay, so avihi means meshaha. Meshaha means that sheep. Meshasya lomani. Loma means hair. The sheep, the hair or the wool. Bhumau nikhanyante. Chet tebhyaha durvaha udbhavanti. If you bury the hair of the sheep in the earth, then some kind of grass will grow, it seems. Iti samanyatah loke svikriyate. Atah atrapi avilomani iti durvanam upadana rupena eva bhashye nirdishtani santi. So in the Bhashyam, Mahabhashyam, this example is also given and it is considered as Upadanatvam. Okay, means that literally being born out of it. So that is another two examples we have seen. Though the real
Avilomani.
Avi means sheep, Loma means hair. So the hair of when you bury it, it seems a kind of grass will come out.
Okay.
A kind of grass will grow.
Okay.
Maybe it is only a coincidence, like how whenever you spread the cow dung, the Scorpios will come out of their holes. Maybe because the Scorpio doesn't like the smell of the cow dung, it comes out, whatever is the reason. But since that those actions are associated so much that usage has come into existence and it is being used in the sense of upadanatvam.
Okay. Thank you, Miss.
So here again, let us see how dhruvam apaye apadanam can be used in this sutra. So gomayat vrishchikaha jayate. Ityadishu udaharaneshu vrishchikaha gomayat bahihi agatya prithak bhavanti. Atascha atra apayaha avashyam garbhitaha asti. Kincha mridaha ghataha jayate. Ityadishu udaharaneshu api mrit padarthat घटपदार्थस्य बुद्ध्या पृथक्करणं कृत्वा ततः एव घट इति भिन्नं नाम दीयते. अतश्च तत्रापि अपायः अवश्यमेव दृश्यते. So गोमयात् वृश्चिकं जायते. There there is a kind of separation which is obvious, but mridaha ghataha jayate. From the mud the pot is made. So here we are looking at ghata as a separate padartha, as a separate object than the mud. Though the ghata is made out of mud, we are still looking at them as separate things. And this is made from that, right? So that separation again is there. So in that sense, in our mind, that prithakkaranam is already there. So that is why the ghata is given a different name. So in that sense, we can still consider there is some kind of separation. Okay, kathanchit. So that kind of separation is called upatta vishayam apadanam. Ityeva matva dhruvam apaye apadanam. Ityanenaiva atra upadana sanya avashyam bhavitum arhati. Tadartham prithak sutram atra na avashyakam. Iti bhashyakarasya ashayah. Okay. So here also we can apply this, but you should be able to explain the reason why you think this sutra can also be applied here. Normally, what is the sutram? Jenikartuhu prakritehe. But this also you can use based on this logic. Coming to any questions in this sutra? Okay. So here, Bhuvaha Prabhavaha. This is another sutra. Yasmat kaschana padarthaha prathamam prakashate. Tat karakam apadana sanyam bhavati. So there is a small difference between this sutra and the previous sutra. Here, prakashate means seen. Seen. From where you are seeing it first. Like say, for example, the waterfalls. The water or simply water. It is oozing out of a particular place in the bhumi or a mountain. Is the mountain being converted into this water? Or is this water made out of that mountain padartha? No, but that is the place where we first are seeing the water coming out. Okay, so prakashate. Yasmat kaschana padarthaha prathamam prakashate. From where it is seen first. Tat karakam apadana sanyam bhavati. Himavataha Ganga prabhavati. So the Ganga river is coming from the Himavat mountain. So the mountain is not creating this Ganga water or the Ganga river, but that is where it is first seen coming out. So Himavat Shabda will get the Apadana Sanya. Prabhavanam means Prathamavaram Prakashanam. Bahihi Agamanam. Prakatanam. So Prabhavanam means these are the meanings. Asyaha kriyayaha sandarbhe yasmat prakatanam bhavati tasya prakrita sutrena apadana sanya diyate. Yatha Himalayat Ganga prabhavati. Atra Gangayaha udgamaha. The origin of Ganga. Himalayasya bhumau bhavati. Tatascha sa Himalayat prathamam bahihi agacchati. Atascha Himalaya padarthasya atra apadana sanya bhavati. Evameva Kashmirebhyaha vitasta prabhavati. Ityatrapi Kashmira padarthasya prakrita sutrena apadana sanya bhavati. So vitasta also is a kind of river, I think. I don't know. Okay. So from where the origin is and from where the first time it is seen. Okay, from coming out of that origin. That origin is there somewhere inside the Himalaya, that mountain, inside that mountain surface. But you know that Prakashanam is happening there. So, but it is not the mountain that is transformed into this Ganga river. Okay, so that is the difference between this sutra and the previous sutra. Both appear the same, right? One thing coming out of the other. But there that nirmanam is happening. Okay, one padartha is changing into another padartha. That nirmanam is happening. That is why jananam is word is used. Here prabhavaha means that prakatanam, prakashanam, agamanam. Prabhavaha iti shabdaha. Asmin sutre prabhavaha iti shabdaha prayuktaha asti. Asya shabdasya vyutpattihi diyate. Prabhavati asmat iti prabhavaha. Prabhavati ityukte prathamam prakashate prakatati. Yasmat padarthat kaschana padarthaha prathamam prakati bhutaha drishyate tasya padarthasya prakrita sutrena apadana sanya diyate. Eta eva Himalayat Ganga prabhavati ityatra prabhavasya means Himalayasya apadana sanya bhavati. Prabhavasya means from where that prakatanam is happening. In this case, from the Himalaya. So that shabda will get apadana sanya. Kincha asmin sutre purva sutrat. Yes.
भगिनी अत्र एक प्रश्न उदेति बहि शब्दस्य we say that it is a fifth vibhakti. So say for example I say saha prakostat bahi agachati. So that means it is correct because it is not produced first time, but he's coming from the one room to other. Or something like that. So we still use the fifth vibhakti, right?
Yes. But for that,
how that will affect on this situation? Yeah, that is what I'm saying. How that situation is affecting with this sutra.
No, no, no. That is different, Bhagini. That
Okay.
is, I think that comes at
Separation.
Upadana. Sorry, not Upadana, the Upapada. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. But
Okay. Okay. I just a question came on mind. Thank you.
yeah, sure, sure. So here the Bahi Shabda has nothing to do with this sutra. This is only the Prakashanam. It is coming out, but it is not used in this sense. So Prakoshtat Bahihi Shunakaha Asti, say for example, or Prakoshtat Bahihi Chatraha Asti. So there, that is only it is a relative thing. We are simply saying outside of the room, the student is standing. So there the Prabhavanam is not happening. The Prakashanam, the origin of the student is not in the Prakoshta. So that will come as Upapada Vibhakti only. We'll come to that later. Okay.
Okay. Dhanyavad, Bhagini.
So here, Kincha Asmin Sutre Purva Sutrat Kartuhu iti Padamapi Anuvartate. Idam Padam Bhuvaha ityanena saha anveti. So bhuvaha iti bhu shabdasya shashti ekavachanam. Bhuhu ityukte bhavanam means happening. Asmin sandarbhe prakati bhavanam ityashayah. Okay. Asya prakati bhavanasya yaha karta ityukte yaha prakati bhavati tasya yaha prabhavaha, from where he is coming. Ityukte saha padarthaha yasmat ayam karta prakati bhavati tasya atra apadana sanya datta asti. Okay. So here again, how can we apply the dhruvam apaye apadanam? Coming out. Whenever something is coming out of something, again separation is happening. We can look at it, that separation as upatta vishayam apadanam. Himavataha ganga prabhavati. Ityadishu udaharaneshu gangajalam himavataha bahihi agatya tasmat prithak bhavati. By coming out of the Himalaya mountain, it is displaying itself. Ataha atra apayaha avashyam garbhitaha asti. Ataha eva idam upatta vishayam apadanam ityeva matva dhruvam apaye apadanam. Ityanenaiva atra apadana sanya avashyam bhavitum arhati. Tadartham prithak sutram atra na avashyakam. Iti bhashakarasya ashayah. Okay. जनिकर्तुः प्रकृतिः तथा भुवः प्रभवः इत्येतयोर मध्ये भेदः. So we have already discussed, right, between these two sutras, what is the difference? Here again it is given. Let us simply read. Himalayat Ganga Prabhavati ityatra janikartuhu prakritihi iti sutrena apadana sanya na eva sambhavati. Yataha Himalayah Gangayah jananasya karana rupena na ganyate. It is not the reason for Ganga to be born. Himalaya is not the reason for Ganga to be born. It is only the origin from where Ganga is being displayed or coming out. Ganga anyena karanena anyasmin sthale utpadyate Himalayat tu sa kevalam prakati bhuta drishyate. It is born somewhere else with some other padartha. But for us, we are able to see Ganga just coming out from the Himalaya. So only the prakatanam is happening. Ata eva prakrita sutre prabhavaha iti shabdaha sthapitaha asti. To emphasize on that, this prabhavaha shabda is used in this sutra. Whereas here jani is used. Okay. अनेन प्रकारेण जनिकर्तुः प्रकृतिः इत्यस्य प्रयोगः जननक्रियायाः सन्दर्भेण तथा च प्रकृतसूत्रस्य प्रयोगः प्रथमप्रकटनस्य सन्दर्भेण भवति इति अनयोर्मध्ये भेदः विद्यते. So the difference is in janikartu, the jananakriya is happening and it can be used only in that aspect, not in the kevalam prathama prakatana sandarbhena na bhavitum arhati. We cannot say this bhuvaha prabhavaha is used in prathama prakatanasya sandarbhe and janikartuhu prakriti is used when there is a janana kriya, production. Okay, generation or production, you can say, when one thing is produced out of another thing. So that is the difference between these two. In both cases, the apadana sanya only is applied, but that difference also we should notice, so that always remember why the difference needs to be observed is with that you will be able to understand. So if it is a text that you already know, there you might not observe the importance. Say, for example, you are studying some Ayurveda text. There, certain things are made out of certain things, right? So there, this janikartuhu prakritihi can come more often rather than prabhavaha, bhuvaha prabhavaha, right? So there many times some substances are made from other substances in Ayurveda. So once you know the difference between these two apadanas, the janikartuhu prakritihi, when a shabda is assigned the apadana sanya by the janikartuhu prakriti sutra and bhuvaha prabhavaha sutra. If you know the difference between these two, you will appreciate the meaning of those shlokas, right? And bhuvaha prabhavaha, you can use it more in the context of prakatanam, where in regular kavyas, I think it will be more popularly used, that aspect.
क्षमातं भगिनी पुनः.
Huh.
So atra jani kartum prakriti, the sutra number 1430, that sutra, we cannot use the apadanam sanya.
No, you can use apadana sanya, but there you have to understand the meaning is it is being produced.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, okay. One
Both
is produced
cases,
from and one is the.
Both cases apadana sanya is there, but why apadana sanya is being used, there is a difference in both cases.
Right. Okay.
In one case,
now.
In the second case, only the prakatanam, from where it is first seen.
Yes.
That's the Bheda.
Bhagini,
Yeah.
Understand, but it is so much in detail. This sutra paddhati is arranged that this minute difference is also been recorded that way.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
the Panini Maharshi, that is why he is such a great grammarian. After he has written Ashtadhyayi, even before Ashtadhyayi, there are several vyakarana granthas, but after Ashtadhyayi, Ashtadhyayi only is the most widely used vyakarana grantha, though there have been other granthas prior to Ashtadhyayi. So because of the kind of preciseness that each of these sutras have, it has become very popular. And it contains both the vyakarana used in the Vedas as well as Laukika. Whereas the previous vyakarana granthas, most of them had mostly Laukika vyakarana only. So this is complete and precise. So this has become more popular in that aspect.
Now understand, now jani kartru prakruti, kramena, it is a lower number sutra compared to the previous one, that is where the janma pragati, Ganga prathama bhAratIya, or whatever way we say it. So when we are using it, we have to prakriya, if we are writing ever, we have to write first 1430 and then 1431, or we can just go directly to say the actual meaning of it.
When you are writing the prakriya of which one?
Suppose one prakriya is given where there is a meaning, that prakriya is for something that is janma.
Then only janikartu prakritihi. If a proper janana kriya is involved, then you write only the janikartuhu prakritihi sutra. The bhuvaha prabhavaha will not come into picture at all.
Okay.
When a janana kriya is not there, only prakatanam of a particular thing is happening, then bhuvaha prabhavaha. There is a reason for people to get confused between the two, so this comparison is made. It is not that always they both come together or used together.
Right. And now thank you. It's clear in mind now.
Oh.
Dhanyavad, Bhagini.
Yeah. So with this, we have completed the sutras, and now the vartikas. There will always be vartikas, right? Which include some certain things which are not explicitly stated in the sutras. So here Siddhanta Kaumudi Sthani Vartikani. Now some of these Vartikas are also listed as Upapada Vibhaktis in our Karaka book. Okay. So let us see. Prakrita Sutre Siddhanta Kaumudyam Ahatya Pancha Vartikani Dattani Santi. एतानि वार्तिकानि भाष्ये काशिकायाञ्च अन्यत्र पञ्चमी विभक्त्याः प्रकरणे पाठितानि सन्ति परन्तु कौमुदीकारः प्रसङ्गवशात् तान् अत्रैव पाठयति एतानि वार्तिकानि एतादृशानि. So basically here in Siddhanta Kaumudi they are listed as vartikani under the apadana sanya, but in other places like in the Kashika or in the Mahabhashyam, they are listed as Upapada Vibhaktis. Okay. Okay. So we shall continue in the next class as we are very close to 9:30. Okay, because once we start, it will again take time. So here, so far we have covered all the sutras that assign apadana sanya to a shabda. So what are all the factors that that cause a word, a shabda, to get the apadana sanya? That we have covered so far. Going forward, there are some vartikas and upapada. These vartikas can be considered as upapada vibhakti. Means it is not apadana sanya anymore. Panchami vibhakti will be assigned to a shabda based on certain factors. Based on certain factors. It can be the association with a particular word, or it can be because of other factors. Those factors will be listed here under these vartikani. Okay. So we'll continue this in the next class.
नमस्ते भगिनी,
नमस्ते।
एक प्रश्न है। आपने कहा कि एक शब्द को दो विभक्ति नहीं लग सकती। एक शब्द को एक दो विभक्ति एक साथ नहीं लग सकती, कोई भी एक ही लग सकती है। ओनली वन।
rather than vibhakti you should say karakam.
Okay.
Okay. So sometimes like I said, sthali pachati, sthalya pachati. Here in sthali pachati, the sthali shabda is given kartrikarakam, whereas in sthalya pachati, sthali is given karanakarakam.
Yes.
It can also be given sthalyaha pachati, the apadana karakam based on the sahakarini. Okay. It can also be assigned a panchami vibhakti. So it's apadana karakam. So karakam, karanakarakam, apadana karakam. Any of these three can be given, but only one at a time. You cannot assign more than one karakam at the same time.
Okay. Thank you, Miss. Thank you very much. And one more thing. Are you going to give a PDF for the next class?
This particular PDF that I shared last week contains all of this. All of the Panchami Vibhakti and Apadana Karakam related material it has. When I start Shashti Bhakti, then I will give for that separately.
Okay. Thank you, Miss. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad. Dhanyavad, Bhagini.
One second. Shanti Mantram. Yeah, Alivelu Bhagini.
Am Bhagini. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani paschyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavad Bhagini. Namaskar. Sarvebhyo namaskar.
Namo namah.